Hello and welcome to what I believe is the 22nd week of Greek in 1 John. So we're beginning this week with 1 John 3:22. Can you translate this? Here's my translation. And whatever we ask, we are receiving from him because we are keeping his commandments and we are doing the things that are pleasing before him. Let's go back to the previous verse. So, beloved, if our hearts do not condemn us, we have boldness before God. If our hearts condemn us, God's greater than our hearts. If our hearts don't condemn us, and whatever. Okay, so if we are right with God, that's the context here. If we are in good relationship with God, then whatever we ask him, we receive from him, because we're keeping his commandments. Namely, we're loving our neighbor, we're helping those in need, primarily in 1 John, and we are doing things that are pleasing before him. Now, of course, this is a catch-22, right? It's not like, yay, can I win the lottery? You know, I receive whatever I ask. There's a catch-22 here, because you have to be aligned with God's will to receive whatever you ask. So if you ask things that are out of God's will, you're not going to receive them. If you ask things that are in his will, then you're going to receive them. And you're not going to, if you're in his will, you're not going to ask for things that are out of his will. And if you're out of his will, then this promise doesn't appeal to you. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Okay, let's look into the translation a little bit more detail. And whatever we should ask, we are receiving from him. So ha is the relative pronoun, or ho is the relative pronoun, neuter. So it's what, that which or what. And then when you couple it with either on or on normally means if. But in this construction, it's whatever it everizes, whatever it goes with. So whatever is the way this combination. We call that a conditional relative pronoun, and we'll see that on the next page. Okay, and whatever we should ask. Now with on here, subjunctive is coming. Subjunctive is coming. So itomen is subjunctive, and I've reflected this in the translation with should. Whatever we should ask, we receive from him. We are receiving from him. Why? Because, what kind of a clause? The commandments of him we are keeping. This is accusative, plural, feminine. So, because we are keeping the commandments of him, because we're keeping his commandments, and because the things pleasing before him we are doing. This is called the substantive use of an adjective, because the things isn't there. It's neuter, plural, alpha, bingo. So I have to insert things there. The things pleasing before him we are doing. So that's a substantive use of an adjective. Okay, so grammar, I've already told you this stuff, but what kind of a construction is this? It's a conditional relative clause. There's the relative, ho, our relatives are here. And the on makes it conditional. Okay, whoever or whatever in this case. I told you this is subjunctive because with the on there, it's subjunctive is coming, subjunctive is coming. So men is a first person plural, usually active ending. And then I know aiteo is an epsilon contract verb. It's a crash verb. So the epsilon is crashing into something. If the epsilon was crashing into the omicron of the indicative, epsilon and omicron form oo. So if this were indicative, it would be itumen. The fact that it's an omega shows that the epsilon of aiteo is crashing into the omega of the subjunctive, the fried vowel of the subjunctive. Omegas win over everything. The omega wins, and it's crowned long omega. Or if you want to say police line, there's been a crash here. So this is present active subjunctive, first plural from aiteo. Lambanomen is simply present active indicative, first plural from lambano. It's too boring to parse, right? Okay, because what kind of clause? Causal clause, yes. Commandments of him we are keeping, and the pleasing things. So I told you this is a neuter plural alpha. Bingo! Accusative neuter plural. It's accusative because it's the object of we are keeping the pleasing things. We are keeping what? We are keeping the things that are pleasing. So this is accusative, and it's neuter plural, and it's from arestos, which means the best, or the most or the pleasing. It's a virtue term, I believe, in Plato or Aristotle, but my brain is full of straw, so I don't remember exactly, and I'm not going to go look it up. Fine. Now, if you really want to know, feel free to comment on YouTube, and I will find some time to blow the dust off my Nicomachean ethics. Okay, before him we are doing. That brings us to the pronunciation. Can you pronounce up to the comma? Here's my pronunciation up to the comma. Kai ho ean, itomen, lambanomen, apautu. Can you do up to the period? Here's mine. Hoti tas entolas, autu, terumen, kai ta aresta, enopion, autu, poiumen. And to put it all together, kai ho ean itomen, lambanomen apautu, hoti tas entelas autu terumen, kai ta aresta enopion autu poiumen. Okay, I tried. This has been our first day of the week with Greek from 1 John.